Alrighty, and we're back with another one. So, obviously, I have already done the bird and the deer. If you would like to go check those videos out, feel free to do so. But this is what I could find for the best team in 2023 for the dogs. Obviously, like I said in the bird one, which was the one before this one, there's a lot of teams that just involve using tier and making like a full Ragnarok team, which I think is a really smart idea because Ragnarok has a lot of synergy and everything. But this was the one that I seen that kind of piqued my interest the most, and it was on top. So yeah, definitely very interested here. We have an attack crit damage set on these two, attack defense on Scotty, and then attack crit resistance on, or is this crit defense? It's crit resistance, I think. Yeah, crit resistance for Thonar. This is the set that I normally use. I do have Tarmia Link on her. You're gonna want it on her. There's a couple of scary points in the run where she might end up getting a little low, or even, I don't know, if you get really bad RNG, she could die. But obviously, you know, kind of like with the bird run, you know, once you pop stats on Demon King, he does a lot of damage, and you don't really have to worry as much about, you know, stalling for turns and stuff like that as I think previously you would have had to in some of the in the dogs runs that were, you know, way back when. So I haven't done the dogs in quite a while. Normally, I mean, I think that they did add a dogs run a couple of months ago at some point for somebody, or like I remember them specifically adding a dogs relic at some point. I think it was Festival Kings whenever it came out. They already had Nidhogg out at that point, but for some reason they decided to throw out the that one on the dogs for whatever reason. So I actually did need to run one of these. I did a test run with this team just to make sure that everything was, you know, working and it was actually good, and everything was pretty smooth, honestly. I didn't really have any hiccups. I did it all in one try. Obviously, like I said, there was a couple of times where Thonar was maybe taking a little bit more damage than I was expecting her to, but at the same time, you know, Thonar's not really the greatest tank or anything, and for whatever reason they always basically end up attacking into Thonar. I did notice this in the first run. He attacks Demon King first, and then basically every time after this he ends up attacking into Thonar, which I did have Thonar a little bit low in the next run, or like after completing the dogs, so it might have been the fact that she was like the lowest HP on the team or something, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I think I'm going to move this, use that, and then I could probably use one of these if I wanted to, but I think instead I'm going to use... I think I'm going to use this, because we have our attack-related stats pop from Thonar's Holy Relic at this point, so we do a lot of damage. Yeah, I didn't really even need to use the Demon King card there. Could have potentially saved it for the final phase, but the last time I just got, you know, actually I'll have Scotty's ultimate here, which is actually kind of nice too. I can go ahead and just basically throw both of these away. I think I'll use this and then this, because he does have a damage cap. Thonar's passive will give us attack, or not attack related stats. It'll give us an ultimate move gauge orb for all of our allies, which is really nice. So we can use that to sort of hopefully ult rush a little bit and get... Yeah, okay, that did pretty good damage. Get Freyr's ultimate as well, because last time that I did this, I just went into the last phase with Demon King's ultimate and Freyr's ultimate. I already have Scotty's ultimate in hand, so I might as well use that to top everybody off first, because I don't think it's going to kill. Obviously, my Scotty's only 1/6, which is devastating. Really unfortunate, really. I have never pulled an extra copy of Scotty, unfortunately. It's not like I just wasted dupes or anything like that. I do have Demon King at 3/6, so you don't have to have him like super high dupes or anything. I think a 3/6 ult literally brought them both down to like 1-ish HP. Like, they were really, really low. Not 1 HP, of course, but either way. Moving into floor 2. Alrighty, so here on floor 2, I know that Thonar has a little bit of trouble attacking and actually dealing damage, and if you patience, it does not count towards her passive proccing, so you have to attack 3 times on an enemy and deal damage for her passive to proc, and you gain the attack-related stats or whatever. So make sure that when you attack in this phase that you do it on the black dog with her, and then you can just throw the rest of your cards out onto the white dog, so that way you're actually dealing damage to the health bar here. But yeah, once you do 3 attacks, obviously you get the attack-related, then you're pretty much, you know, set to start actually dealing good damage here. It is nice that we have Freyr and Thonar, because they both have a way to stance cancel, which I only had to actually stance cancel in Floor 3 Phase 1 last time, so we'll see how it goes. Honestly, because we have a set of both, I think I'm going to go ahead and throw these out to push for ults, and then maybe even throw that last one. Nah, I probably shouldn't throw the last one out. I guess I'll throw this one out, because I know that Freyr's card will actually do a little bit more damage. I might have overestimated here, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to end up killing this phase, which I did just throw away all of my stance cancel cards. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of RNG here, but even if, you can still target the white dog through the stance on this floor. You know, the only floor that it's like a taunt and a stance is the last floor, so it's not even really that big of a deal. But yeah, it would have been nice if I didn't throw that away, I guess. But either way, it's also kind of nice if you can kill with the character with the lowest HP in this phase. It can also be a little bit beneficial for you, because that way you can basically lifesteal all of your health back. We have really good cards in hand at this point, so I'm just going to throw those 2 cards away. Watch me eat my words like I just did, but we'll see how it goes. So, boom. Ooh, okay, I'm actually not dealing as much damage as I was hoping I was going to be dealing. I think, honestly, if I would have used the Demon King card, it probably would have been fine. But, yeah, I think not keeping a stance cancel was a little bit of a mistake, but I hold one right there, so it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, honestly, if you play better than I do, then you're basically going to have 0 issues here. I mean, I do think that my box CC buffs and stuff like that are probably carrying me a little bit. Like, I do have some extra stats that I can sort of, you know, have the luxury of playing around with some. But even then, you know, as long as you play the team right, then you're obviously going to have less issues. So the more right you do it, the faster you'll get it over with, which means the you know, the quicker you, or the more you don't have to actually take damage from the enemy, because you're not going to be worrying about it. So we've popped stats at this point. This should be enough because we still have Thonars active. So there we go on an AoE, which I guess it counts the Black Dog's attacks, or the damage to him as well. So maybe not as impressive. One thing that you kind of need to worry about in this phase is I always try to kill the Black Dog as quickly as possible in phase 2, because he just has a lot of really annoying debuffs that you really don't want to deal with. I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'll throw this out. I guess we should technically throw out the Freyr ultimate first if we're going to use it, and then I'm going to throw away these stance cancel cards. That'll be enough to kill, because this is going to deal 2 damage caps worth of damage. This is going to deal a damage cap because she's max 6/6, and then these 2 stance cancel cards, even at level 1, should be enough to go ahead and take 10% HP down, so that will work out fine. The last phase on floor 2 can be a little bit troublesome. If you deal 5 attacks to 1 dog without them dying, it is going to give them a revive, which is kind of annoying. It's like Light Elizabeth's revive, if you know how that works. So you definitely don't want to deal with that if possible. So we're going to go ahead and throw both of these AoEs out, which the Thonar AoE might be a little bit of a misplay in a way, because obviously it's not a super high level ultimate, but using Demon Kings first, it actually does give them a gray defense related stat debuff, so that's going to help us do more damage to them. The fact that we're able to kill the Black Dog off here, right? Okay, right? Means that we don't have to deal with any crazy debuffs or anything. We're not going to get frozen anymore, which is really nice, and we can basically just focus on dealing that last little bit of damage to the White Dog here. So even with those first 2 AoEs that we did, he's below half HP, which is great. Unfortunately, I guess we could have technically saved Scotty's ultimate maybe for some healing at the very end there, but because Freyr is the lowest HP, we're going to use his cards to hopefully kill, and that should end up lifestealing him pretty much back up to full, and then we're pretty much good to just move straight into floor 3. So nothing too crazy. Obviously, I mean, you could get your hand clogged up with a whole bunch of really bad cards, which would obviously suck, and you might not be able to do as much damage as you need to on this phase, but so far, I mean, as long as you go into it with ultimates and stuff, which isn't hard with Thonar's passive, you should be okay. Alrighty, so here we are. Crazily enough, this phase actually, for some reason, you can connect damage to the White Dog with Thonar, even without her buff. I don't know what it is about floor 2. I guess he just has an extra like bit of defense-related stats or something. Maybe a little bit more like resistance maybe, but she for some reason just can't deal damage in phase 2 or floor 2, but for some reason in the harder phase she actually can deal damage. So in this phase you definitely want to try to make sure that you can get a stance cancel if possible, because like I said earlier, this is the floor where whenever they taunt they are going to put up or whenever they use their stance to do like damage mitigation or whatever, they're going to be putting up a taunt with that, which can be very, very annoying. So you want to make sure that you play around having a stance cancel available. So I think honestly I'm going to try to play it like this. I don't think I'm going to kill here. I mean, we do have the attack related stats, and the single target with Demon King should actually still be doing okay. But I'm more or less just attacking a little bit with Thonar here, getting a little bit of ultimate move gauge, and throwing this out so that way we can get a little bit of lifesteal, because he did actually attack Demon King a little bit more, which is surprising, because in the first run that I did, he went all in on Thonar, but I guess I just had more HP this go around. So you may want to mess around with that if you're a little bit better about making sure that your characters are full health at the end of the floors. Then you might want to move your Tarmiel Link over to the Demon King there, so that way you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, could be a little troublesome in some aspects potentially, but we're going to remove the stance there. We are still targeted on him. I think we're going to go ahead and buff removal and then throw these two cards out, because obviously he gets a lot of defense-related stats in this phase. So we're going to just go ahead and use Skadi to buff remove, get rid of that, so we don't even have to worry about him tanking too hard. And then, you know, Freyr should be fine here. We should be full ultimate move gauge on everybody, so we can go ahead and burst our way through this second phase and then go into the final phase. The final phase, you do really want to try to kill the Black Dog in one turn if possible. I killed him in 2 turns last time, and it actually wasn't too big of a deal, but obviously mileage may vary, I guess. So we're going to go with sort of the same setup that I went with last time. Just because I don't have any crazy cards in hand, I'm going to go ahead and use one of these Demon King cards just in case this doesn't kill. But I do have full ultimate move gauge with Skadi. Okay, actually it did kill. I think the level 2 just has a much better percentage multiplier or whatever, so that's good. But yeah, we do have full ultimate move gauge with these two, and because we have the dog's card set active, they're not going to be able to get frozen. So it would have went on Skadi there actually, but luckily we don't have to worry about it. So we're just going to go for double AoE here, and then we're going to go for as much damage as possible on the Black Dog, so that way we don't have to worry about debuffs, because his debuffs in this phase can be mega annoying. You know, he puts one on every single character that you have on the field, and they're all pretty harsh debuffs. One of them's like an attack-related stat debuff. That was close. One of them is a freeze. One of them is, I think it's Dissolve. I can't remember exactly which ones all of them are. I should have looked at them before I finished the phase there. But at this point, we literally just have to worry about dealing the rest of the damage to the White Dog here. So we might as well just stack a couple of debuffs on with Skadi. Honestly, the Bear Trap cards do good damage anyway. And then because I don't have any other good single target cards in hand, we'll just go ahead and use the Demon King single target here, which should be more than enough. So you don't have to worry about attacking too many times or anything. There's no restrictions on that. You're basically just trying to make sure you kill both of the dogs as fast as possible, because they'll start to do a lot of damage. So that is all 3 floors. I think this might have been the fastest one, surprisingly. I'm not 100% positive on that, but it was pretty quick actually, 14 minutes or so. And I'll cut out the in-between sections between floors. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the team. Obviously, it's a little bit of a weird one. I feel like, you know, just because Demon King is just so power crept, he's actually insane. It's pretty easy to throw him or Tyr or like some of the new modern characters onto the teams and stuff like that. I'm assuming by the time 2024 comes around, there will be even more crazy power crept characters that you can throw on these teams, and it'll make it even quicker or just more consistent. So that is it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you in the next one.